This is a review of comprehensions in Python, especially list comprehensions, because they're the most common and because the other kinds of comprehensions are very similar to list comprehensions. I say review because you may remember seeing me use list comprehensions in our data science programming exercise for our final section meeting. So let's start by defining comprehensions. A comprehension is a collection that is defined from an existing collection. So for list comprehensions, you can make a list based on an existing collection, which doesn't have to be a list. For example, let's make a list of the integers 0 through 9. I can say I for I in range 10 and do that. Also, the expression on the left here doesn't have to be a plain variable. It can be something more complicated, like I squared for I in range. Let's go from -5 to 6. So that's a list of squares from -5 squared to 5 squared. You can also say if in your comprehensions, like if I want I for I in range 10, if they are not multiples of 3, if I mod 3. Okay? You can put comprehensions inside comprehensions, like if I want a list of lists that goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. I can say j for j in range I to I plus 5 for I in range 5. Now, if that doesn't look like such a big deal to you, it's probably because you started programming in Python. In many other popular languages, you'd have to make such a list by starting out with an empty list and then make a for loop, and then for each iteration, make an empty list and then fill that up. And it would be this 5-line kind of thing that you did in 1 line because you write idiomatic Python. And not only is it more idiomatic, it's faster, as I can show you with this little program here. First, I have this constant. Then I say using a loop to fill a list. I start a timer, make an empty list, start filling it up, and then print the sum of the numbers in the list, and then tell you how long it took. Then I do the same thing, but with list comprehension. So let's see what happens. So using a loop, it takes about 1/10 of a second, and using a list comprehension, it takes about 1/25 of a second, so more than twice as fast. It's faster because there are assumptions that Python can make about comprehensions that it cannot make for general loops, which allows it to optimize comprehensions to make them faster. Now that you've seen list comprehensions, set comprehensions are very similar. Just use curly braces instead of square brackets. So here's I squared for I in range -5 to 6. And because it's a set, there are no duplicates, and order doesn't matter. Like, I can't say, give me the 0th element in that. Doesn't work. And dictionary comprehensions, you still use curly braces, but you put your key, a colon, and a value for stuff in your collection. So here's a dictionary that maps a number to its square for in range -5 to 6. I have a programming exercise to practice using comprehensions, but that will be in the next video, in which we use comprehensions to solve the traveling salesman problem.